Miles as he arrived on Capitol Hill.
Did anybody with the campaign colluded with Russia?
The behind-the-scenes power player is now front and center in the Russia investigation.
Mr. Kushner, do you regret that meeting at Trump Tower? Were your contacts with the Russians a mistake?
Jared Kushner is the first Trump family member and highest-ranking White House official to be questioned by congressional investigators. The 2.5-hour session was behind closed doors, but Kushner released an 11-page statement that he said fully accounted for his Russia contacts during the campaign and the transition. His conversations with the Russian ambassador, the Russian banker, and that Trump Tower meeting with the Russian lawyer arranged by Don Jr., who in an email chain was told she was a Russian government attorney who had dirt on Hillary Clinton, part of Russia and its government support for Mr. Trump. Don Jr. forwarded the email chain to Kushner with the subject line, Russia, Clinton, private and confidential. But Kushner says he only read the part of the email directed to him, listing just at the time of the meeting. Kushner called the sit-down itself a waste of our time, saying that a few minutes into it, he emailed his assistant, "Can you please call me on my cell? Need excuse to get out of meeting." He was still smiling as he left the Capitol.
Jared, how did the testimony go? Are you confident? Very well. Can you answer all the questions, sir? As many as they have.
Back at the White House, the notoriously private Kushner made a rare appearance before the cameras.
My name is Jared Kushner.
He said all of his actions were proper.
Let me be very clear. I did not collude with Russia, nor do I know of anyone else in the campaign who did so. I had no improper contacts. I have not relied on Russian funds for my businesses.
He also insisted that whatever happened with Russia, it had nothing to do with his father-in-law's victory.
Donald Trump had a better message and ran a smarter campaign, and that is why he won. Suggesting otherwise ridicules those who voted for him.
The new White House communications director predicted that this will be the last time Kushner talks about the Russians. But Democrats say they want him back on Capitol Hill to testify in public. We asked him about that.
Thank you.
Jared, are you willing to testify in public and under oath?
Kushner heading back into the West Wing there. John Carl live at the White House tonight. And John, President Trump growing increasingly frustrated by the whole Russia investigation, tweeting that Republicans are not doing enough to protect the president now, and tweeting today about his attorney general, calling him beleaguered. And then we learned the AG was at the White House today.
He sure was. He was here. This is a weekly lunch he has with the White House counsel, Don McGahn. He also met with some other officials, but he did not meet with the president here today. And while that meeting was routine, the relationship between the two men is anything but routine. In fact, I've recently reached out to the White House communications director, the new communications director, Anthony Scaramucci, and he said the president is disappointed and that the two men need to speak and determine what the future of their relationship looks like. And as for that tweet this morning, the president tweeted, "So why aren't the committees and investigators and, of course, our beleaguered AG looking into crooked Hillary's crimes and Russia relations?" Now, David, that is the 39th time that the president has tweeted about Hillary Clinton since the election, an election, by the way, that he won.
John Carl leading us off at the White House. John, thank you. We move on tonight, and we have new reporting here after the horror